You know what? We are in the square today. We are doing good. Let me know if this isn't working, because it did break yesterday, so I will need a tip if it does not work. Well, hello there. Hello. Hi. Let me move you guys over to a different corner. I hate it when the chat's up there. Let's do bottom left. Howdy. I'm doing okay. This is Trackmania. I figured we'd do something a little different. But we are still very much doing a mental health stream. This game isn't necessarily new. I've had it for a long time. I've been playing it since my senior year of high school, but not very well. And I just got back on it for the first time in a long time. Hey guys. Okay. Let's see here. This is Trackmania. I'm gonna put the Not Gonna Lie link in the chat. So we are gonna be doing a little bit of, like, you know, on TikTok, that car game that, like, while Reddit stories are playing, this is that game. Hold on. I'm gonna try and turn down the volume, actually. Well, hello. Okay, can one of our mods pretty please pin this link so that we can have our Not Gonna Lie up? Guys, I have wondrous news. Wonderful news. We have enough to do... You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna turn this off so that I can focus on. I just need the settings. Like, that shouldn't be that hard. Settings. Here we go. Okay. Sound. Back. You know what? Fine. Whatever. Okay. Anyways, how do you fix a sore throat? Let me know when you figure it out, dude. Let me know. Okay. Tomorrow is the day. Manu is getting ready to drop some serious bittage. American. Brit. Okay, let's see if I even remember how to drive. I think Axel will probably eat me at this game. Every time it looks like I'm about to lose, I back out. Because I'm bored. Whee! Okay. Yeah, my personal best is way up there. I'm not doing as good as normal. Okay. That's an insane amount of bits, and I'm really looking forward to it. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, here we are. Here all of you are. Hang on. On the bright side, I'm no longer fundraising because we did it. And we're gonna have the best time, and we're gonna create so much content for you guys this coming week once Quinn gets here. It is all set. I am in the midst of planning. We did it, guys. We did it, gang. We're great. Hi, Layla. We are practically finished. We are. I just have more stuff I need to do. Am I feeling less sick? Not really. It's about the same as yesterday. I am out of antibiotics though, so either we need to do. Either I need to go back to the doctor, or hopefully it's gone. It's actually going to get better now. Okay. Me and this girl I like plan to hang out soon. Good. Happy National Short Day to you. Sincerely, Wonky. How tall is Wonky? I feel like that's not fair. Sad because I can't spend Christmas with my girlfriend. Me too. I'm lucky that I get afterwards. How did me and Quinn meet? Antibiotic fundraiser? No, that's not necessary. Don't worry. I have insurance. I always feel tired, and I don't know if I'm lazy or I have any mental health problems. It could definitely be a mix of those things, but most likely, I always am inclined to say more mental health than laziness, because a lot of the times what people like quote unquote diagnose as lazy is like task paralysis. So if it's laziness is I could do that but I don't really want to, and task paralysis is I feel really guilty for not doing that every moment that I'm not doing that, but I'm still not doing it because for some reason I can't make my brain start this task. So there's a big difference there, and I find that very few people are genuinely lazy but have been told that they're lazy their whole lives, and so they believe they're about themselves, and it's just going to hurt their self-esteem later on for no reason. Oh, well, I never said I was good. I just said I could drive. This game sucks sometimes. Ugh. The game is louder than me. Hang on. Hang on. Tedious dragging indeed. Your dad says you're crazy? If I was a parent, I probably would too. Because I wouldn't be there with my kid experiencing those things. And to him, he's never met me. And so that probably seems weird to him. But I jumped out my dad's moving car because he was talking shit about my mom, and then he followed me around because he didn't understand what he did wrong. Did you, like, warn him or anything? Or did you just, like, tuck and roll? Because I feel like if I was just... I mean, obviously you should talk anyone, especially your own partner, because that's just wrong on so many levels. But I feel like I'd be a little confused too if I was just talking to me, if I was just talking and my kid just like tucked and rolled and jumped out of my moving vehicle, I'd be a little bit concerned, and I probably would follow my kid because they're not together anymore. Still, that you're shit talking your kid's mother. Like, you can criticize people without shit talking them. It's really easy to do. Like, if you say that's not how I would have done it, or in why am I bad at this today? You can see that I've done better. My personal best is already finished. You can very clearly be like, hey, this is not what I would do, or this isn't something that's going to be productive in any way, or she probably shouldn't have made that decision, instead of shit talking. Alright, have a great day. I'm glad you stopped by. Maybe I just suck at this one. I'm going to finish this one time, and then we're going to go to the next one, and I'm not going to suck at that. Deal? I used to play this game all the time while I was venting to my friend. Actually, I played this game when I first met Quinn. And I was talking to my friend, who is no longer my friend for other reasons, but about... I always hit right there. I was talking to my friend about Quinn, and this was during that. And then she'd vent about her problems and play Trackmania with me in this room. And then she'd fall asleep on my couch, and I'd go about my business. That was actually during the summer that I graduated. She hadn't graduated yet. But I had been out for... I hadn't gone to college yet, and she was already in her next school year. Because my college started so late in the... Why? You know what? We're just going to the next one. I think I'm really bad at multitasking. I love you so much, IU. Also, lately one of my friends has been bullying me for being gay, and I don't know how to react, and it's just getting to me. I'm really sorry, and I think that you definitely should not put up with that. Like, I think 100% that you should, and talking to clients, wow. Let me compete. It won't let me do it. Gross. Anyways, I think that you need to break up with your friend in that case. Oh my gosh. Let me drive. Exactly. Nope, 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 nope. Play, campaign. Oh, I wish I could see. You have gossip? Go right ahead. Is this Roblox? No. This is Trackmania. Been waiting for this stream since last week. I really enjoy your streams and find you really fun to watch. I've been doing better recently and I've been clean for 6 days. That's a lot for me. I'm really proud of you. Still working on eating more, but feel like this is an accomplishment after struggling for a while. It is. It is an accomplishment. And I'm proud of you. Okay, there's got to be some button I'm missing. Hello? I would like to drive the car now. What the fuck? Okay. We're going to play campaign. Can I even do number 1? If you do this to me, I'm going to be so upset. Press a button. Drive alone. There we go. Okay. Thank you. I feel that it's really representative of who I am as a person. My username. No! My personal best. I thought I was going to be able to drive without him. You know, if I was able to name my opponents on this game, I would totally name one personal best if they were ever doing better than me. To make everyone think that I was doing that well. Did you just ask me what I think of yourself? Talking to a girl long distance, and she's literally so sweet. The only thing that throws me off is she gets into fights and gets high, but I don't know how often, but it worries me. I want her so bad, but I'm worried for her. We are 15. I really like her, though. Everything else is perfect. I would suggest being very careful. Because, well, first of all, there aren't that many 15-year-olds that are that stable. Like, everybody think of yourself at 15. Give me a scale of 1 to 10, how mentally stable you think you were compared to now. And if you're only 16, don't. Probably. Yeah, negative 100. Like, it's not. 15 is nobody's golden year. Hey, I did better. I would probably notice. I wouldn't know if it was you if you didn't have your name anymore, but I'd probably notice. Okay, we're gonna drive in the snow. And if you are 15, tell me if you feel normal. How mature do you think your brain is? I'm just curious. Wee. Okay, I hate this track. What is this? Oh, yeah, Gray. It gets harder before it gets better, but it will get better. Things start to make sense around. I don't know. I'm not 100% there yet, but things definitely make more sense than they did when I was 15 for sure. I'm not doing multiplayer. I'm just trying to not fall right now. This one's made of ice. Wow. That was sad. And now my car is dead. Okay. Ice, ice. Thank God. I'm muted. Guys, I read something that didn't have a trigger warning. Please put trigger warnings on it. Not for me, but because when I start reading your things out loud, I can't always self-censor. I'm really glad I was muted because I really regretted just reading that out loud without a censor. That was actually the perfect time to have made that mistake. Okay. Somebody said, I think I get a little too depressive when my period comes. Like, what do you mean today I got drunk, did the deodorant towel method, and self-harmed just because of my period? A little time passes and I'm happy again. I'm 13, by the way. So, 13 is a time of violent hormones. I promise you, you will not always be like that. But if your symptoms are that bad, I definitely would suggest talking to your doctor about it. Because that sounds like a harmful amount, for sure. So part of that could just be like normal teenage hormone, like everything is forming at the moment. But part of that might be something else, and I think that's worth seeing a doctor for. Also, please don't drink at 13. Please don't do any of that at 13. Where did I get the name KJ Crashes from anyways? I don't remember. I think it was some randomly generated one, and I was like, that fits. I've already told you this, but liking somebody who doesn't like you back sucks. She is talking about a dude who genuinely is really nice dude, and I have to be happy for her, but I also bawl my eyes out. Also, you're short. I'm sorry, Yella. I know that sucks. And I know you told me, but you could of course say it again. That's what we're here for. Guys, everybody say we love you, Yella, because Yella deserves like a very nice, sweet person, no matter who it is. And I'm so sad that every time nobody's wrong in this situation. It's just unfortunate. Which sucks. I'm so close to getting the gold on this. Merry Christmas, Kaylin. And question, what is American Christmas dinner like? Because in the UK we have turkey and roast potatoes sort of thing. Christmas dinner, I think this game was free, but I don't remember. It was so long ago. It's roughly the same, I think, everywhere if you're, celebrating it and if you're celebrating Christmas in a traditional Christian sense. Sometimes there's ham, although I've heard that's a white person thing. Sometimes there's turkey. There's honestly a lot of the same things you'd have on Thanksgiving. No, my personal best, my main nemesis, me, little bitch. Get over here. How did I beat him? You do cinnamon rolls on breakfast? What's Thanksgiving? 1 sec. Thanksgiving is basically when English settlers came to the Americas and they were pilgrims and stuff. The story goes like they found, natives who helped them, and Thanksgiving was like this huge peace creating meal that everybody wanted, when in reality that's just a lie about history, and the English settlers like literally, yes, gold, killed all of the Native Americans. That's what happened. But everybody celebrates it like it's this cute holiday of peace. So I actually tend to celebrate it as Native Remembrance Day instead of whatever that shit was. We put on little plays, we do little turkey dances, and everyone gets to feel good about themselves, but that's just not what went down. Oh, I'm doing well. Oh, we got this, gang. I hate the ice ones. I'm so glad that... Oh, no. Oh, no. Aw. Wait. Let me get up another one. You're awesome sauce, too. Kaylin, that is you. Hello. 18 days clean today. Just thought I'd share. I'm proud of you. How do I know if I'm actually depressed and not just overdramatic? Well, if you're asking that question, I don't think you're overdramatic, because what would be the point? You know, like, I don't know why everybody is so determined to assume the worst in themselves unless they're assuming the worst in everyone. You can be depressed and not have that mean that you don't just, like, I'm so confused by the question, honestly. Anyone can be depressed at any time. What would that even mean? Just over dramatic. What would be the point of you faking depression? If you're, first of all, I can't, wait, I can't do another one? I'm also an advocate for people who like fake disorders and things, because that's an unmet need that they don't know how to meet, and they're trying to meet it by giving a label to something that they don't have or don't know enough about to diagnose themselves with. So, like, if you've ever faked a disorder, if you've ever faked neurodivergence, that does not mean that you are normal, dramatic, and faking neurodivergence. That means that there's something wrong that you cannot identify, and you're just wrong. Even if it makes you feel shame inside because you know that you're lying, you're still wrong. And there's still something wrong. So I'm never going to be like, okay. The only exception to that, actually, this isn't even an exception because I know something was wrong with her in the head anyways, was that girl that faked cancer to me, and then, what the fuck? And then bullied herself in my comment section so that I would defend her. That was not okay, and I did not forgive that one. However, that there's still something very wrong with her, and I hope she gets therapy. That's just not my job, you know? I also hope she grows from that. That was such a weird thing. She was like, and I drew you and Quinn, and sent me AI pictures. And I was like, this is so obviously AI. And then I asked her what type of cancer she had, and she said throat cancer. I asked what type, and it was a type of cancer that isn't genetic, even though she told me she got it from her dad. It wasn't genetic, and it only happens in men above 50, and she claimed to be a girl that was like 16. Later found out that she's older than me. No, it's like cancer on your pharynx, I think it's called, pharyngeal cancer. No, yeah, it was really fucked up. I did not forgive her for that, and I don't have to, because that's not my job, that's not my business, but I still do believe that there was something wrong with her that needs to be addressed. She's not just a bad person, she's a screwed up person. Also, do more research on your lie before you lie to me. I'm not just gonna blindly believe shit. I've heard it all. Good night. Anyways. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Think I'll skip this one this year. When I eat, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I can eat only so much before it's hard to swallow and I feel nauseous. I mean, depending on how much you eat, that's normal. Like, you should not just be able to continue eating forever. But if it's happening like every time you eat, I think you should definitely see a doctor. You might have some acid reflux issues. And there are very easy medications you can take for that. Like, over the counter, super simple stuff that would vastly improve your life. Oh, that was you, Gray? Yeah, you should talk to a doctor because I am not a doctor, but look into acid reflux medications. I have some myself for when I need them because my cough is so bad that it makes me like gag and puke, and I have thrown up many times because of it so far. So I got some of that stuff, and it has really helped. Of course. Hang on, we're just gonna sit here and crash for just a second while I read another one. I'm sorry for not knowing what find the pickle is. Everybody's criticizing me for not knowing what find the pickle is because somebody was like, we hide a pickle in our Christmas tree. That's our tradition. And I was like, is it a real pickle? And then even my own wife was like, Kaylin, it's called find the pickle. That's not normal. That's not a tradition for everybody. That's weird. Yeah, the fuck is find the pickle? Listener, write in. Have you ever found a pickle in your Christmas tree? Were you supposed to? Was that normal? I'm so mad that my personal best keeps beating me. Haha! Yes. I have an anxious attachment style, and I know I have it, but that doesn't stop all the anxiety. I feel horrible for everyone in my life who if I don't hear from them for like a day, I call them a million times. I don't know how to get the reassurance without making the person annoyed at me. Okay, so it really sounds like you struggle with emotional impermanence. It's like, okay, when babies are born, before they're like a year old, they really struggle with object permanence. So this is just another way of seeing this. Like when you put a teddy bear behind the chair, they don't know that the teddy bear still exists behind there. And for you, you have emotional impermanence. So it's like when, the feelings aren't right in front of you, if somebody's not actively telling you how they feel about you, you don't know if those feelings are still there. You're unsure of what happened behind the metaphorical chair that are these people's feelings. And so that's really difficult, and I get that, and I've experienced that before as well. But you're going to need to learn that even though the chair is there, even though you're not actively texting these people, nothing is actively changing in their heads about you. Because nobody has that kind of time, first of all. To just have their opinions are changing about you, maybe, if at all, while you're with them. That's it. You have to trust that they stay stable. You have to trust that that opinion is going to stay stable until you interact with them next. The only person changing that opinion is you. It's okay. Am I watching any movies on Christmas with my family? Last night I watched Spirited. Guys, if you haven't seen Spirited, it's so good. It's a musical with Will Ferrell in it and Ryan Reynolds. It's very well done. I watched it the year it came out. Any updates on Quinn coming to see me? Absolutely. She is 100% coming to see me. We did it. We have enough funds for every single bit of content we want to make, all the adventures we want to have. All that's left to do now is planning, a lot of planning, which I love doing. So I'm going to get on that. We did it, gang. Everything is in the bag, so to speak. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Wait a minute. What? What the fuck? Okay, wait. Will we stream a bit while we're together? Yeah, we are planning on making several like little event streams. Like there will be cool things that we do. We're gonna stream The Last of Us and have it like be a culinary experience too. Okay, I'm supposed to go this way. Maybe. What the fuck? Huh? Are you ever gonna stop streaming? Wait, hang on. You're gonna have to send that again in a second when I'm not fighting for my life over here. We. No, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Oh. Sadness. Oh well. Let's get to it. Yes, more not gonna lie in just a moment. Kenzie, what did you say? You're gonna stop streaming? Like, I know one day you are, but like, do you think that it would be in a couple years or something? I hope never to stop. I know that I probably won't still be doing this in my 40s, but as of right now, I have zero plans to stop, and I won't for a very long time, as this is still a very fun and very, very good part of my life. So you don't need to worry about it. But I don't know why you're asking. Did somebody say something? Wee. No, I know how it feels to have like a streamer be like, and I'm gonna quit. And I hope to never be that streamer for people. Like, I know how unstable that feels. You and Ellie have the same birthday, same birth month. So we don't actually know what day Ellie's birthday is. Guys, it's okay. I'll still be here. We don't know what day Ellie's birthday is, so it's really hard for you to have the same birthday as her if we don't know. Yeah, we know it's in March, but we don't know what day. See, also, that's why I think she's already 20 by the time she gets to Seattle. Because she's 19 in Jackson. And then it's not winter anymore by the time she's in Seattle. It's already spring. Well into spring. And that looks like summer Seattle. But I'm willing to accept that it's spring. And March is the first month of spring. So, Ellie's already 20 by the time she's in Seattle. Whee! Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna pull up another one. Today, I was bonding with my dad over music. I proceeded to ask if he'd listened to David Bowie before. He said not much. By the way, Quinn's family knows David Bowie. Or knew. I don't know. He said not much, but my uncles loved him, and then he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Did you know he was gay?" I was low-key panicking since my homophobe mom was there, but she didn't get mad since my dad wasn't. Whoa, we got a lot of David Bowie fans in the chat. Hey, is Quinn live? No, not at the moment. Google says her birthday is in June or July. Well, we know that's not true. Google lies. I'm hitting 400 miles an hour. Wait. Let's see how fast this car tops out at. 500. Wow. Okay. Okay. We're gonna make our rounds. We're gonna make it around here. Have you seen Bella Ramsey's somewhat new haircut? I have not. Why am I not accelerating? I am, just not very quickly. I also have to wrap presents. No, present wrapping has fallen between the cracks. I choose to believe she's freshly 20. Because I want to. Also, I don't think so. She's 19 in Jackson. It says, does it say 4 years later or 5 years later? It says 4 years later, after she's 15. That would be 19. She's 19 years old. In Jackson. And then in Seattle, she's 20. If it said 3 years later, she'd be freshly 19. But since it's 4, she's freshly 20. Yeah, in the show they celebrate her 19th birthday, but also in the show it takes place in a totally different decade. I don't think it's the same. Yeah, in Santa Barbara she's 21, 22. Okay. Have you watched Avatar? No, I haven't actually. My best friend who I was with 2 days ago went on a date today, and the person who I was talking to. Uh-oh. I'm really upset because at the time I was hanging out with my friend 2 days, I was talking about how I really enjoyed him and his kind personality. And she has been my best friend for years. It's kind of a breach in girl code. Or guy code. I inhaled and it sounded like Pop Rocks. Ugh. I'm gonna die of pneumonia. Guys, I finally got a crepe today and it wasn't very good and I was so sad. I've been wanting a crepe for like 2 days. You hate crepes? Well, I hate you. Just kidding. I don't hate you, but I hate that opinion, and that opinion is terrible. What's your favorite dinner food? My favorite food, I don't know. It changes way too often. Am I supposed to be going through here? I don't think I am. Okay, we're gonna figure out where I'm supposed to be going here. No. No. No! Okay, you know what? I love Nutella crepes. I have a Nutella crepe downstairs. It just is not that good of a crepe. Okay, so we're not getting over that hill. If I only could, I'd make a deal with God. Get him to swap our places. I feel it in my lungs. Wait. Gross. Do you ever feel like your scale is lying to you? I can be super bloated and feel bigger and heavier, and the scale says I'm the same weight that I normally am, or sometimes that I'm lighter. It makes no sense. Okay, so it's not your scale that's lying to you. It's actually your brain. And having body issues literally changes how you see yourself. Like, not, it changes my perspective. It literally changes how you see yourself in full. But also, I'm not a huge advocate for scales because I think numbers can be triggering, and also it's different for everybody. What the fuck was that? Okay. Take me in game because I stole a horse. Aww. Like, some of the skinniest people in the world that are unhealthily skinny, like Quinn, like, okay, not just like Quinn, but like Quinn was at one point. Like, she had the worst body issues, and genuinely, it was scary. This isn't when I knew her, but it was recent enough that it still matters. She was still technically a normal weight for her height, because people have different bones, people have different genetics. Oh, come on. And so even her being, it was not healthy for her, but it was healthy for random other people, which is why no one can be average, really. So please watch how do I even say this? Because I can't be like, please watch how you look, because obviously that's going to be the best thing, but only if your perspective is actually based in reality and not body issues. So if it's like, if I'm like, you should look at how you look instead of what a scale says, you're going to be like, well, I think I look fat today. And I could be like, well, you literally don't. But your brain is telling you do. No, please don't put numbers. Please do not put numbers about your weight. Or your goal weight. What the fuck is this? Why? I hate this track. If I got the role to play Dina in the game, what would I do? Cry happy tears, but like I would never dream of wanting another Dina than Shannon, so. What am I doing? What kind of track is this? Whatever. I'm doing this again. Do I think I would beat Quinn in a race? Yes, she gets out of breath pretty fast. Especially if it was any sort of distance. Which one is the next Olympics? Does anybody know? I forget. Are the next Olympics summer or winter? Don't fall. Don't you fall. Don't you. No! Okay, you know what? We're fine. It's cool. Winter? Okay. You know what? I beat my time by 18 whole seconds. I have these tics. I'm not sure what they are, but I can't tell my parents because I think something is wrong with you or something when you have tics. That's not true. For a minute, I thought you meant the bugs. So I was a little concerned. But now I realize that you mean like anxiety tics. It's most likely anxiety tics unless you have Tourette's. Tourette's is actually pretty rare and pretty hard to diagnose, but if you have tics, they're usually harmless. So thankfully you don't need like medical intervention usually for that, unless it's like making it hard for you to sleep or function. I've been under a lot of stress lately with work and school and just life in general. I used to hallucinate with stress. Never been to a doctor to get it checked out, though. I have no idea how to ask for help, but recently I've been all giggly and way too happy for me. Should I be worried? I don't know. Ads? If sub, no ads. But also, we're going to look up our fun facts. Did you know that laid end to end, your blood vessels would circle the earth, the equator, 4 times? That's how many blood vessels you have in your body. Did you know your brain uses 20% of your oxygen and blood supply despite being only 2% of your mass? And it's more active when you sleep. Did you know everyone has a unique tongue print? And even your smell is unique, except for identical twins. Gay bits, thank you. So like Quinn and Claire can smell things the same, but I don't smell things the same as Quinn. Did you know you make enough saliva in a lifetime to fill 2 swimming pools? Ew. Did you know you're about 1 centimeter tall in the morning because your spinal cartilage compresses during the day? Did you know your skin never gets more than a few weeks old? Your mouth never gets more than a few days old. You drink nothing? Did you know that if you drink nothing but purple Powerade for 3 days straight, your poop will turn neon green? I wouldn't recommend it. The bone that supports your eyeball, the bone that supports your eyeball, called the orbital floor, is paper thin and has a large empty cavity called the maxillary sinus on the opposite side. When you get hit hard in the eyeball, instead of your eyeball itself rupturing, the bone underneath your eye breaks. This releases the pressure of the impact and saves your eyeball. If you crush a beach ball against a concrete wall, you can pop it, but if you crush it against a styrofoam wall, the wall breaks, but the beach ball is fine. That's an amazing evolutionary adaptation to protect your eyesight. Purple Kool-Aid will do that too. Guys, I have a funny experiment to try. Totally unrelated. Does anybody know where I can get Kool-Aid? Anywho's. Is it bad if I'm religious and lesbian? No. I feel low-key unvalid for liking girls, you know what I mean, because people always tell me to either pick religion or sexuality since lesbians can't believe in God or something. Anyways, I feel super guilty for liking girls. I was a religious lesbian for a long time. I'm not anymore. I simply don't believe in that. But it's not because I'm mad at God or something. I just don't see any evidence for him. You know, you can be a lesbian and believe in God. And that's the stupidest thing people can tell you. People who want to feel better about themselves say that you can't do that. Like literally for somebody to tell you that is honestly the most blasphemous thing you can do. Like how did I even do this? How did I even park this way? How did this happen? Maybe oh, fuck yeah. We're still in the game. Stop reversing. Go forward. Go forward. Fuck this shit. But that's the most blasphemous thing because they're speaking for God in something God didn't say. And that is using the Lord's name in vain. That's the only way you can use the Lord's name in vain. Saying goddamn is not using the Lord's name in vain. But saying God said something or God thinks something that God did not say explicitly is actually a sin. Those are the types of things that if God is real, he's going to hold them up at the end of their life and tell them everything they did wrong, and that's going to be on that list. That's one of the reasons that I actually stuck with Christianity so long, because I was like, anybody who does something to hurt me, they're going to know at one point. They're going to know at the end of their life, because God is going to tell them everything that they did wrong, that they need to be forgiven for. And I'm going to be brought up. Which is a little stupid, but it's true for me. Does Quinn like Sonic or Mario more? I don't know. I don't think she has strong opinions on either of those characters. I looked into the derealization disorder thing, and I show literally all the signs, and I have the description and all the descriptions, but it feels wow. I show all the signs and all the descriptions feel so real, but I don't want to self-diagnose because it doesn't even happen that often, so I don't know. What flavor of Christian was I? I was non-denominational for a very long time. I even in the depths of it, I would never have considered myself a Southern Baptist, even though that was what everyone around me was. Evangelical Southern Baptist, more specifically. Anyways. But, what was I answering? Oh, right. So self-diagnosis doesn't even need to be, like, you don't need to downplay your own experiences, for one. Can I give you a countdown tomorrow? For sure. But first of all, half of self-diagnoses, including teenagers who just do that, are accurate. And so looking up how people with that disorder can cope, act as though you've been diagnosed with it, not in the let's tell everybody sense, but like the let's do research on it sense. Let's figure this out and, have a better life by figuring this out. Like learning how people coped with autism helped me cope with my autism before anyone knew that I had autism. Oh my god. I'm not good at this while reading. I used to say that all trans people were against God because you were changing the body that God gave you and then got breast implants a year. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. I call people out on that so often. It's like, you are changing the body that God gave you. Really, Rebecca? What are those highlights doing in your hair? Looks like you have a body that's perfectly good, and God didn't give you highlights. He didn't give you Botox or breast implants. Really, you wanna tell God that the body He gave you was so perfect after you put on those fake nails or get tattoos? Or I don't know, even getting henna. Whoa! I did not deserve to finish that. Okay, we got this. We're gonna do this time. What do we think about this game for mental health streams? Do we like this one or Toothless better? My feelings won't be hurt. I'll probably still switch it between. Yeah, it is like the Reddit stories. Okay. Oh my gosh. You like to? Okay, Layla likes Toothless. I actually have. This is a surprising number of people who like Roblox instead. Okay. If I was a better driver, does that change your answer? No. Oh, nice. Glad to know I'm not the problem. Whee! Cowabunga. Somebody asked, and not gonna lie, why my parents don't pay for Quinn to come and see me, because they don't want to. Why would they pay for that? My parents are very, like, I always grew up with the, oh, you want something? Well, why don't you, when you grow up and you get a house and you can do that. We're not doing that. So, and I'm also, not a teenager anymore. But it's not like they would have paid for it when I was a teenager. It's something that's for me, and not a basic necessity. And so they don't do that. Exactly. So, for my parents, it doesn't matter how well off they are, you know? Also, everyone looks well off if you live in this part of Texas. Everything is huge. This leaving kind of often here, coming if they aren't paying. Yeah. If they're not paying, they don't care. No, even as a kid when I was like, Mom, I really want a dog. When you get a house, you can have a dog. Okay. For the first time, I don't really have anything to really vent about. Your mental health Mondays help me, and I've been doing low-key good. Thank you for doing this. I'm glad. No, I know. Some people don't want pets, but that's not true. That's not true here. They just enjoy telling me that I'll have my life one day, and they're not going to do anything about that. Which they're not really obligated to. It's just kind of mean to say. So wait, so is Miso what? No, Manu, don't feel like that. That's not what this is about. No, we got Miso when I was probably in the darkest time of my life, and my therapist recommended that my parents get me a dog because I needed an emotional support animal. It was when I had just gotten out of that relationship, and by gotten out of, I mean we were literally ripped apart and still intended to get married when we were 18 and just weren't allowed to see each other. The turns will table when they become elderly. And I was also being threatened by a grown man at 16 who was like literally wished me dead, and knew where I lived and was a family friend. So I was not in a good place at that point. I couldn't even go to school. And so my parents got me so. It was actually a really cute surprise because I thought we were picking up a new dog for my grandparents, but we were picking up both. How can a grown man? Because that grown man thought I was actually a demon and told my parents as much. That grown man was legitimately insane. When you have no education and you have religious psychosis, that man told me that I was a demonized spirit because he was actually a diagnosed narcissist, and believed that, I couldn't have fooled him and dated his daughter without him knowing, unless I had supernatural intervention and help in that way. So he decided that I was a demon and needed to be eradicated from the world. I thought I told you guys this. Like, have I not covered this? Is this really new? Like, did I actually not say this before? Huh. Well, anyways, he tried to hit me with a car. He told everyone that he was going to come shoot me. He posted about me on social media. If you want, you can see one of the posts because I screenshotted one of them because at the time it terrified the shit out of me. But now that I look back on it, it's a little funny because this was a grown-ass man being really threatened by me at age 16. No, this guy's not in jail, but he was in jail for a little while. No, yeah. Layla, I forget that there's parts of the story I haven't told you. Was he on drugs? No. some people are actually just insane. And then those people have kids. He was not a good person anyways. When he found out his wife was pregnant with their second kid, so my ex-girlfriend's little sister, he left. And left them on their own, and then only came back when she was born. And now is a dad, but like he also, beat his kids so bad that I ended up having to call CPS because I was crying. Well, my therapist called CPS because I was crying to my therapist, and I was like, she gets beat up like every day. I don't know what to do. And she won't let me call anyone. And my therapist was like, well, now that you've told me that, I have to call someone. I was like, uh-oh. So she got really mad at me and actually hit me for that. And then ignored me for a week because I told her about that interaction with my therapist. It was not a good place to be. Moral of the story, don't get into a relationship with somebody who you literally can't tell anyone you're in a relationship with. If you have no examples and no support system whatsoever, and you are dealing with people who you know from the beginning are a little crazy, not a good place to be in. It's literally fucking hell. Yeah. Don't be in that relationship. You don't have to be on your own. No, it's okay. I'm fine now, but that was a doozy. That was a doozy. And Quinn had the gall, the absolute nerve to be like, I don't want this relationship to remind you of that. Like, I don't want to traumatize you in the same way. And I was like, girl, you would have to try so hard. Like, don't flatter yourself. Anyways. No, Quinn's amazing. And she never did anything like that. Never did anything wrong like that. We're not perfect, but she is such a normal person and such a wonderful person. No, if you guys want a full story time, honestly, I'm not super opposed to that. It's pretty juicy. I haven't even hit all the highlights. But not today, maybe. No, of course we haven't hit all the highlights. You don't get a story like that and it's simple. If you want to hear about a messy relationship, that's the one. How long have I known Quinn? Over a year. There's more highlights? Yeah, there's more highlights. It's filled with drama. And all of this also took place within a cult. Like an actual cult. Storytime Tuesdays. Maybe Storytime Saturday. Let's wait till after Christmas. Yeah. It took place within a cult. She was also, like, freaky about the strangest things, which Quinn exposed yesterday. Not even all of them, actually. I found out yesterday she didn't know some of them. I thought I told her, but I guess I forgot. Yeah, like a religious cult. We were both in it. No, yeah, it's a pretty juicy story. I think I should write a book. I did start writing a book. I have screenshots of a lot of things. You guys want to see one of the posts that her dad posted about me? It's a little funny. Now. Cult women are the freakiest. Okay. So this one time, I knew he was posting about me, so I looked on his Instagram story. This guy was like 46, by the way. So, like, very grown. He has a family. He has a job. He was actually a DJ for a living. He took me to plenty of weddings. Half the weddings I've been to were with him. Sub, thank you so much. Yeah, nothing I'm about to say or nothing I can say in this story is going to come across as normal. Anyways, he posted with a pink background. Hi, this message is for you. I see you still. You keep creeping on my Instagram, probably looking for someone I won't post on my page. He's talking about his daughter. I wasn't. You did enough damage. I won't block you, but you can kindly unfollow. Hashtag truth triggers demons. Hashtag mental health is real. Hashtag protect your family. Hashtag dad life. If you don't believe me, here's the rest. Here it is. And what really got me, though, that I didn't notice at the time, this scared me because I didn't see this at the time. Their whole family was pretty immature and communicated a lot throughout with song lyrics, which is normal for like a 15, 16-year-old girl, which is what we were. Was not normal for a 46-year-old man. But he did that anyway. So if you see here, there's this little black box, and if you zoom in here, he's tagged "Somebody's Watching Me" by Michael Jackson. So as you can see, it wasn't really a normal, of course you're allowed to laugh. It wasn't a normal situation to be in. Somebody's Watching Me by Michael Jackson. Hi Nuri, I love you too. And at first I didn't even realize that was the song. Like I just looked it up. I didn't even look at the artist. I was just looking at the lyrics because I knew the lyrics would be what, like not the tone, but the lyrics would be what I was looking for. I was just like, I'm a normal guy trying to live my life, and I was like, oh no, he really thinks I'm stalking him when I'm not. And then I like actually pressed play. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I was like, are we for real right now? Like, I don't even do this. But whatever. Aww. That's cute, Henry. But yeah, that's just one highlight. Then there was the whole following people into the girls' bathroom thing that he wasn't supposed to do. You know. He actually threatened me on Quinn's birthday, but of course I didn't know at the time that it would be my future wife's birthday. But it was April Fool's. And I had sent her Instacart before, because when she had a bad day, sometimes I would be a good girlfriend and I would send her like chocolate or something. And so naturally, Instacart thought that's where I lived because it was her address. And he knew this, by the way. And he got spam mail, like he got junk mail from Instacart for me because, again, we were really close. Like, I basically lived at their house too. He got spam mail addressed to me to their house from Instacart, and then he took pictures of it and texted my parents and said, "Is this some sort of sick joke? I don't even know what to think about this. I've called the police." He did call the police. And my mom was like, "She set that account up to send stuff to your daughter. Like, really, dude?" I kind of want to see those texts again. I wonder if my mom would send them to me. She blocked him on my phone, though. I'm sure he texted. Whose dad is this? My ex's dad. No, it is embarrassing for him. A lot of this is embarrassing for him, but he doesn't know that, which makes it more embarrassing. The police, exactly, the police for what? The police didn't do anything because I didn't do anything. He tried to report me for harassing him because he got junk mail from Instacart. He tried to report me for dating his daughter, but that's not actually illegal at all. Like, we were both 16. Like, there's nothing illegal happened. And so the police didn't do anything. No, he was paranoid schizophrenic and a diagnosed narcissist. She actually did still try to marry me when I turned 18, which is another story, because she was actually batshit crazy too. The apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, guys. That's another story. Yeah. Oh, guys, there's so much you guys don't know. It's like juicy as hell, too. I really want to tell this story. I have to write out how I'm going to tell it so I don't forget anything. Because it's like a year's worth of lore. No, we're not done with Not Gonna Lie. I'm just really trying to beat this stupid level. I should start a podcast. No, please don't call me after stream. I feel so sick. I would tell you. But I feel it the moment I stand up. I'm going to be on the toilet for 5 hours. Low key. Would everybody listen to my my juicy story? Okay, let's open up another Not Gonna Lie. I'm worried about somebody who said your streams are their only way of socializing. I know who said it, but the weird thing is I don't even know them. They just seem like a cool person in chat, and I feel bad, but also weird for thinking about it. Aw. Well, that's so kind. I think you should socialize with them. It seems like they need more socializing. Quit YouTube because you would have hate Keep going. You can delete hate comments. You can't delete the opportunity. I've had hate comments too. I've had hate DMs and death threats, but I'm still here kicking it. I've had people literally send me NSFW content of themselves and others, some of which was illegal. And I'm still here. Should I be? I don't know. But no, when everything went down and like Quinn was getting that heat for things that, by the way, everyone knows that she didn't do, and it's been completely debunked and people are still hating somehow. No, I was roped into that a lot because people didn't like my age. And so they sent me like child content that was both animated and not, which by the way, yes, I did report and block. And said, "You wish this was you, huh? Or does this turn you on?" And at that moment, I almost quit. Like, I genuinely almost really quit. I told Quinn, because I was also managing all of Quinn's accounts at the time, so that she wouldn't see any of it. And, you know, her mental health mattered to me, so I was taking care of her in that way. But, yeah, that was almost the end for my internet career. But I did not give up. We're still here. What I wouldn't do to know who did that? I don't have any names, sadly. most of it was throwaway accounts because what they knew what they were doing was both illegal and vile. Some of them were literally called a friendly throwaway account. So I knew at the time that, like, even if, like, they're obviously such terrible people that they think that's okay. I don't have an email, I wish. If they think that's okay in any situation, then they're obviously the ones in the wrong anyways. However, okay, I'm really not digging the pool over here. Wait, he goes that way. Oh, okay. No, they had such a, I know, and what they were showing me was, like, really not okay. I was like, the fact that you have access to this is far worse than anything you could even accuse me of being done. Like, this is actually awful. But it's not like I talked to them. I just, told whatever authorities I could and then reported and blocked them. Guys, it's not worth it anymore. They've been blocked for so long, and I really don't want to open up that can of worms again. Bits tomorrow. No, yeah, some people are way too comfortable being anonymous. Like, if you're gonna hate, post your face. I will respect your opinion if you post your face. But most of these accounts had absolutely no faces and were just comfortable being bullies. But yeah, you kind of go through it when you're on the internet, so I get that. But I don't think. I think that I'm glad I didn't quit. Because that would have meant I would have won. I can have a hard time and not quit. No! Fuck. No. Okay, well, I don't know what to say to that because I've never seen you. Like, it's really hard for me to reassure someone they're not ugly if I have no idea what they look like. Because I'm not gonna. I don't lie to people. But I also don't think that people are ugly naturally most of the time. Like, I know a lot of people are like, there's some people who are so hard to look at. And for me, it's so much about the person. Like, I got really lucky because I have somebody who is genuinely a goddess in the face and everything else and in the brain, which is what drew me to her, was her brain. But no, I literally, like, I loved who Bella Ramsey was as a person so much that I had a crush on her. And I didn't know that there were, like, hundreds of thousands of people who think she's ugly. Maybe I just can't tell. But mostly I just don't care. Yeah, fall in love with people's brains. Bella Ramsey is a hear me out. Wait, I don't know if that means a good thing or a bad thing. Does that mean Bella Ramsey is, like, somebody that everyone has a crush on or somebody that you have to hear about it? She's a hold me back. And that's totally fine, Nuri. Everyone's allowed to not find anyone attractive. Hell if I care. But I did not understand the hate. No, yeah. And I think anybody can find anybody attractive or unattractive as long as you're not hurting people with that opinion. Comparing someone to a potato is inherently harmful. Don't do that. Like, you can still respect a human being without needing to find them hot. No! That would have been so good. So did mine, Queen Cobra. So did mine. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Fantasy, whoa. Care so much about my grades to the point where I lose appetite before exams. If I get a bad grade, I'll be down for like 3 weeks, and a lot of times I'll relapse over a bad grade. I don't know how to not care so much. I'm all for supporting the grind in high school. Like, get into that Ivy League college, but if that's not your goal, know that you're also still a developing human being. Like, it seems we put so much focus on how these numbers like define a human being in high school. Like, that's so harmful. And honestly, I wish I'd given myself more slack. And I didn't even have like the greatest grades in the world. I had pretty good grades, and I wish I had given myself more slack and not been as stressed as I was, because it's worse to be... It's way worse to be stressed like that than it is to get a bad grade. Oh, I did them all. The sophomore slump is no joke. I had all A's in freshman year, and then sophomore year it was all B's. Kaylin, you sound so much like Dina. Every time I play The Last of Us, I hear Dina and think of you. Oh, thank you. Do you have permission to... Do I have your permission to name the Minecraft in my story? I don't know what that means, but sure. Hi, I got a new teddy today, and I'm really happy. Her name is Susan, and she's a lobster. She's weighted, too. I love Susan. I was half asleep when I was in Quinn's stream, but I heard her talking about this dance bully, I don't know. Anyways, I had no control over my body, but I was half asleep, and I realized how my hand was slowly turning into a fist that could have smashed through walls, and I don't have any idea how that happened. That's how I feel, too. That's exactly how I feel. Hang on. No, with my dying breath, like, if I... Okay. If somebody is mean to my girlfriend, especially in front of me, and I see her face fall, I want to commit crimes. Because she is such an amazing human being. I have watched her cry because people were mean to her with no reason to be, and she couldn't figure out why. She didn't know how to do it right, or because she tried communicating, and she tried, she tried communicating with them. She tried asking them, hey, can you help me with this? If it's too, like, if I'm not doing it right, I don't know what to do so that I'm not being excluded here. And they were just doing petty shit, like leaving her name out of things. Why do I repost so much of Maddie's... Who's, like, Maddie Westbrook? Like, they were just doing petty shit. And I was like, I'm going to commit crimes against these people. I didn't know that I did repost a disproportionate amount of Maddie's stuff. What's wrong with it? Oh. Izzy, that's so sad because you're so tiny. I get bullied for my height every day, and my bully is in the chat. I hate this start. How can you deal with health angst? Because I'm very scared to have cancer and it runs a bit in my family and I'm wearing a heart monitor because I have chest pains and it might be my lungs and I'm told my parents I feel like they don't believe me and think I'm faking. I've struggled with that too. I think that there should be like, I don't know if this exists, so take this with a grain of salt because this might already be a thing. But like a full body checkup, like I don't even know how expensive that would be, but just like every test and exam to make sure that everything is in order, and that I think that you should be able to have access to that once a year. Like if everybody could do that, I feel like we would be so much happier as a society and like so much less stressed, because if you're only treating symptoms, then there might be something forming for years, and I'm terrified of that. Like I had pneumonia for weeks before I actually went into the doctor's office because I thought it was the flu. The Epstein files are black pages because Trump is in them. And then he's like, well, there's more people in it. And I'm like, I don't really care. None of them are running my country. You know, like obviously they shouldn't be in that, and I care about in that sense. I'm not going to put them in power either, but you definitely shouldn't be. Dealt with bullies before, and I'm glad I've seen your TikTok and Twitch page. Aw, yay. No, I know. Did you guys see the meme where they took the photo? You know, Trump was in Home Alone 2 in New York, and he had, like in the movie, he was literally in the movie Home Alone 2, and he had this little scene where Kevin asked him a direction. And they took that scene and they blotted him out and then took out all of the description, blank scene with blank blank blank. That's the funniest shit. Check DMs. Okay. Yo, Smurf, do you want revenge for the photos on the slideshow now? This is your chance. I need photos of Quinn for the slideshow, preferably silly ones. I have plenty of photos for you, and I will send them post-tense. Today, somebody DM'd me. Lewis. His name is Lewis. He responded to my story of how many pets are in this photo and said, is that how Jewish Israeli people celebrate Christmas? Blue instead of red? Because my Christmas tree has blue ornaments on it. What? So I said, Lewis, first of all Jewish people, typically by faith, celebrate Hanukkah instead of Christmas, so they wouldn't have a tree at all. It's a Christmas tradition. Second, I'm not Jewish or Israeli. My mom just likes blue Christmas ornaments. Go to school, Lewis. It's so stupid. No, I had somebody DM me once, are you Jewish? Not even DM, they commented it, are you Jewish? And I said, no, why? And they said, because I thought I saw you wearing one of those little hat things. What they were referring to is a yarmulke, which, by the way, is only for men. Have I ever been suspended? I have, when my cult school found out I was gay. I wasn't actually wearing a yarmulke or anything in that photo. They just saw a sunspot on the back of my head. Maybe. I don't even know how, because I was only facing forward in all of those photos. I was looking for what they could have possibly been thinking of. Some people. You got suspended for beating up your English teacher? How old are you? Because I don't believe that you beat up your English teacher. I would have slapped the kid that called you a slur. No. You can be suspended in private school for being gay. So I went to school at a church. So where I went to school, it was also a church. So I was also there. So I would go to chapel on Tuesdays, and then I would be there for youth group on Wednesdays, and then I would be there all of Sunday at church. And then Monday through Friday, I would be there for school and all of those events. So they could do that because they were also a church. Public schools, no. My school, yes, because again, I was in a cult school. I was not in a normal school. Thanks, Henry. How long have we been on here? An hour and a half. I'll do a couple more. Okay. Well, I'm glad you had fun the other day, Noah. My birthday is in 6 days, and even when I was 13, I didn't even think I would make it past 15. Well, I'm glad you're still here. Did I raise enough for Quinn to come? Yes, we absolutely did. Thank you guys so much. We've done it, and we will have tons of content for you after this week. We're still thinking of all sorts of fun things we could do. Mono, your messages are so sweet. Mono's such a sweet guy. Sometimes I don't know what you guys are talking about in here, so I have to pick another one. Christmas feels so weird this year. It's my first Christmas without my uncle. I'm struggling to deal with the grief, and he was like a dad to me. I'm 15 and I don't have anyone to talk to. Any advice on how to deal with grief? I'm so sorry. I wish I did. I'm not very good with loss either. Ever since I was little, the thought of loss or change that was unexpected to me dealing with loss was the worst thing ever. I lost a balloon out of a car window once when I was 2, and I cried for like 45 minutes, and that was when my parents realized that there was something wrong. But I'm sorry, and I know that's hard because I've lost people too, and I want you to know that you still have people, even if they're here in chat, even if you haven't met them yet. You are not alone in this world, and you are definitely not the only one who's feeling that way this season. Christmas can be hard for a lot of families and a lot of people for 1,000 reasons. And I'm really sorry that that's what you're dealing with. This was such a lame finish. There. I'm gonna have to do this one more time. A lot of your family members have split up because of drama. Christmas family drama is fascinating. I'm sad sometimes that my family doesn't have drama. I'm not, because that means I have a pretty non-dramatic family. Like, we have a pretty mellow family, honestly. Sometimes we're boring. But I'd kind of rather have boring than problematic. But, like, hearing other people's Christmas family drama, like, I always pop my popcorn and wait. And after stream, like, after Christmas, I want you to tell me all the problematic things that your family members did. Like, I'm gonna have, like, a little questionnaire for that, and I'm gonna present some of them because... And obviously, I'm not trying to exploit your experiences, so, like, if it's traumatic, don't tell me. But, like, if you found out something juicy, and it's not, like, bad, we all want to know. You guys are so sweet. What time is it for you when you stream on Mondays? Because for me, it's 11 p.m. and I want to do the Not Gonna Lie every Monday, but I also want to sleep. It changes. I'm sorry. It's usually about 1 p.m. Texas time, but the way it's been going lately, it's not. Just because I've been so sick in the mornings. Yella's bullying me again. Everyone bully Yella. Can everyone roast him real quick before we leave? Everyone bully Yella. Call him Blondie. Thumbs down, Yella. Boo, Yella. I will unban you in Quinn streams. Yeah, see? Thumbs down. Boo, Blondie. Boo. Why is my car not going any faster? No beer for Yella. I am a blonde. Yeah, but it's like specifically bad because it's Yella. Like, I have nothing against Dutch people except that one. You know? Okay. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I hope you had a good time. I hope this was helpful for some of you. I'm sorry that I didn't get to everyone's message. Maybe we will again, but I'm not sure. But I will see you soon because I gotta register for classes. Mwah! I love y'all. Bye bye.